Hello, welcome to DK Bowl Chat. I'm glad you're here. I am going to paint a new painting today. And I've started with a 5x5 canvas. These are pretty easy to do, and I've been doing a few of them lately. A more recent one is this little guy, this little hummingbird. I'd like to do a background muted, not in focus. So like this as well is similar to, but I want to go more the direction of this one here, because I finished this one. And when I finished it, I didn't want to put a hummingbird on it. I liked it just the way it was. So this one I'm going to keep and hang it on the wall because I like it. It looks like, it just looks very pleasant to me, and I will make one similar. So that's what I'm going to work on today. So I'm going to start with white gesso. Just open it up. And I'm glad you're here with me. White gesso will get a good grip on the canvas for the painting so that the paint will stick. It's not, I mean, it's going to stick, but it'll stick better and longer, and yeah. Over the sides as well. And where they've cut the canvas, I'll do that too. To put it on here, to wrap it around. There we go. And this will be my white. If I need more, I can add regular white. I have it over here, regular acrylic white. This is white gesso. I'm going to use it as the white. Getting the hairs off of here. Little pieces of fuzz I can see. There we go. Okay. I can see more right there. It's going to drive me crazy if I don't get that off of there. We'll get it off there first. There we are. All right. I'm good. I'm not crazy. I'm all good. So I've got ultramarine blue, burnt umber, and then titanium white for when I do need that. I'm going to put some quinacridone red on there. And that will be what I'm going to mix it with when I make the pink. So there's sort of a pink color on here. And it also has a little bit, it looks like it's got a little bit of gray in there too, so I'm going to make some gray. So first I need a knife to mix it together. There we go. A little bit of burnt umber and ultramarine. Acrylic paint. There we go. And this is going to be sort of a blue right now, a blue-gray. I can tell for sure by going into this part and seeing what it looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I can go right into this wet. I don't need to dry it first, it's fine. I'm going to get a different brush to do that and load a little bit of the blue on there with this blue-gray that I just put in here. And just start putting it on the canvas. Here we are. And take it right off the canvas onto the side. Doing the same sort of thing. This will be the background. It's going to be a nice garden in the light of day, where this little hummingbird's going to go. And I don't even, right now, I don't even have an idea of what the hummingbird's going to look like, but I will. Soon enough, I'm not concerned about that right now. I'm going to do the background first. So I'm glad you're here with me. So this is ultramarine, burnt umber, and a little bit of white gesso. I'm going to do a little bit more. And in this picture, I don't see it necessarily right where I'm doing this, but it's okay. If it's a little bit different, I'm going with that idea, so. There we are. Okay, and then I've got a little bit of the red. I'm going to mix that with white and bring it to a pink, and then add a little bit of blue, gray to it. Make it sort of a purple. I can add a little bit of this gray to it just to tone it down a little bit. There we are. Just putting the color on the wet canvas, and I've got so this is quinacridone red, burnt umber, a little bit of ultramarine, and the white that was already in here. And grab a little bit more red. Bring in that pink, huh? This one is definitely coming a little bit more red than the other one was, but that's okay. And I can blend the two together. Because who's going to be the focus is going to be the hummingbird, not the flowers. There we are. There we are, and I want to make sure it doesn't dry before I blend it, so I need to blend it, and I will grab another brush to do that. This is a filbert brush. Just come between the two colors and move it around. Since this is acrylic, I need to be a little bit more aggressive with it than I would with oil. There we are. I'm just going in little circles with this brush to blend that edge. There we are. And on the side here, I need to make sure and blend it. And on this edge, where it meets the other side. I'm just wiping off excess paint that I'm picking up as I'm doing this. Here we are. We need to move, yeah? There we are. And I have to get my spray bottles to right here. I'm going to actually spray it and move it around with another brush. Grabbing another filbert brush. And going in between them. I just sprayed it with distilled water. Over the side. And just keep it going right off the canvas. Going over the side to blend that edge. And what color's missing here? I've got blue, I've got red, white, and this is very pastel, but I'm missing green, so I'm going to get some green in there. I have gray. The gray looks good. Burnt umber and ultramarine for gray. There's little bits of gray here and there. Just put a little bit in there and I'll blend it in later. And over here, right off the canvas. How about that? Take it right off the canvas. And maybe I have 3 of them. Put one right up here. I'm gonna have to blend that. There we go. Grabbing another clean filbert that's dry. Filbert brush. Wiping off excess paint really helps to not move the paint around and actually just blend it. I'm just wiping it on the tablecloth. I'm going to blend the edges. Wipe off the brush. I'm not dipping it in the water at all. Here we are. A little bit here too. I'm going to go for the top and blend that. That one has dried. I'm going to move it with a damp. I just went in the water and wiped it on the tablecloth. There we are. Just blending that edge. Picking up some of that pink. All right. I'm going to go back and grab some of the blue again. Rinse off the red. Do pink. I'm going to do blue first. Blue and white. This might be a really good painting for a nursery, huh? Just put a little bit over here too. A little bit of blue, because the blue gray's right here. This is ultramarine and white. And it had pink on the brush already, which is fine. I'm gonna blend that edge. I don't need extra water on here, so I'm gonna get a clean brush because this one is damp. There we are. I'm moving the paint around, blending it so the edges are not hard. There we are. And pick it up, get the top of this guy. There we are. I'm gonna get some more of that gray, which was a gray blue actually, a little bit of blue too, and white. There we go. That makes it burnt umber, ultramarine, and white. kind of a gray blue. I'm going to move it around. This is the original 1-inch brush that I used. And I'm just tapping the canvas. Got to get the excess water off of it. I'm going to get a dry brush and blend them together. There we are. I don't know if you watched through the last video with me, but I did a hummingbird on top of a background, like, you know, a muted background that was suggesting flowers. And yeah, I love painting hummingbirds. I haven't gotten tired of it yet. They're all different. So they seem the same, but they're all different, you know. Okay. A little bit of blue would be nice with the gray. A little bit of white with it would be nice too. There we go. And we're going to get some green. We'll come into that. I'm going to blend that out. Rinse off that brush because it's picking up paint, which is what's going to happen anyway. Okay. So if I get most of the water off, it should be fine. There we are. Just getting around the edges of it and blending as I go. I'd like to get a little bit of the blue in there too. I think it's on there in places, but let's blend those lines. I'm looking for hard lines right now so I can move them. And a little bit of red. I'm going back to the red. And white. I'm just going to deposit it here and there. There we are. I'll blend that in. Just going between the two colors. And touching the canvas till they blend. There we go. Another way I could do it is I can take some off as I'm painting. I can touch it with paper towel, which I'm going to do in a minute, but right now I'm blending these edges so I don't have any hard, I'm not going to leave any hard edges, and then I'll do that. introduce some green on there, huh? Okay, I'm gonna get some blue back because there's a lot of gray there. So I'm gonna get some blue and white. It's ultramarine and white. I'm just touching it, touching the canvas with this brush, here and there. No formula yet. I'm seeing what happens here as I do this. I like the blue and the pink. I think it's soothing. I'm gonna keep blending. So that's gonna be that for now, but I'm gonna put it, I'll take some of it off with this. And it also blends it up, blends it together a little bit. It blends it up. Yeah. I'm just dabbing it with a paper towel. And I can get a 1-inch brush, a dry 1-inch brush, and wipe it. I'm not going to use the wet one, that will just take off the paint. I don't want to do that. I'm going to rinse off these brushes I already have used. I'll leave you guys here in case I need another one of you. But I'm going to just move across here and move what I can as far as moving the color. And if it's being stubborn, I can spray it. I don't want to introduce the color on my brush because it's going to take the paint right off the canvas. And I don't want that to happen. There we go. I kind of like that light showing through. That's nice. So I'm going to grab some green, put that on here. I need to make sure everything is enough, you know, blended enough to call it done with that. There we are. And that was putting a wet brush right there. So that's what that did. I'll get some color. And this one's got a little bit of, it's going to have a little bit of lavender in it, as opposed to it all being exactly the colors of what's on that other one. I can fill it in on the side a little bit. I don't think too many people really look at the sides and make sure. I mean, you want to have some color there, right? If you're going to paint all the way around. Or you could paint it black, I suppose. But I'm going to just put a little bit of color to get the top of it. We'll blend it. This brush is still dry. I'd say the front is going to be the most important part to blend. There we are. Wipe it off. All right. Putting in a little bit more blue. I need to add green to it too. I'm just touching it with a paper towel. I'm going to take this dry brush that already has paint on it and tap it. There we are. All right, I don't want to remove all the paint. Looks like little imprints of animals or something in the background, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to add green to it. Okay, it's because it was damp. So I have Hooker's Green here. There we are. And that's pretty dark. I don't need it to be that dark. In fact, it looks more blended. So I'm going to get lighter green. There we are. A little bit more white. And I'll blend between them. There we are. And this brush is a little bit damp. It's moving it around. I'm going to get it to move on the front too. There we are. I just don't want to take it off, leave the prints on it. There we are. A little bit of gray again. I'll blend those together. Just for the fun of it. There we are. And some of that blue-gray would look really good on here in the center. Okay. Wipe off that brush. I'm going to grab some blue too, because it's kind of turned into a gray. There we go. And this might be too, it might take another time to do this too. I'm just blending. I will probably add in more colors. I'm going to add green to it too. With white, get it lighter. There we are. Kind of going where I had the blue before. And there was pink right next to it. A little bit of that looks good. Get that off the side here. All right. Just putting in pink. Right next to that blue. And this would be easier to do with oil paint, but I'm going to persevere with acrylic. There we go, we'll just blend it out a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna blend it with a big 1-inch brush. And this whole thing is kind of drying up, so I'm gonna get it to move. There we go. Just a little bit of water. I get a smaller brush than this 1-inch one would help as well. There we are. Between the pink and the blue. Pink on this side is kind of vividly has a defining line between it, so we'll blend that as well. There we are. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna just blend that out a little bit. There we are, right between the two. Okay, I think I'm ready for some green too. This green right here is okay, but I think I'm ready for some lighter green, which is a little bit more bright. That's plenty. I don't think I'll need that much, but I'm gonna put a little bit on there. You know what? All right. Let me see. I've got the green brush right here. It is a different color green, but it's fine. What it'll do for the pink is green and red make brown. It'll make it sort of a natural color in between the two of them. There we are. Just putting in little bits of green. Okay, now I'm going to blend that. Just by touching between the two of them. Yeah, so my background will be similar to the one I showed you at the beginning, but it's not going to be anywhere near identical to it. Let me just yeah, there we are. Okay, keep blending. And I'm just touching the dry brush against the wet paint on the canvas. Because I sprayed it so it got it wet. There we are. And if I want it to be less green, I can take off some of it with this guy, paper towel, and then blend. There we are. Okay, I'll take off some of the water. There's water. And it's bringing in white. That's okay. It's just a paper towel and I've crunched it up. in my hand to make it not a perfect paper towel. It's just, you know, it's gonna have lines and stuff in it. So that's why when I touch it, it picks up some. There we are. Okay. Now I can blend a little bit right here. Make it less harsh. There we are. Bring back some red and white, which I think we have a lot on there, but there we are. Just going to put a little bit. I don't need it right in the middle. There we go. And blending it between the green and the pink is going to be good, like I said before. And I'll make a nice brown or tan color if I do that. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to put some blue-gray on here too. Again, this blue-gray. I'm going to use the filbert brush, get blue and gray. There we are. And white. There we are. That's what I was looking for. And then there's also just gray. There we are. Just blend it. I'm just going to touch it with a brush. That one had a little water on it. I have to be careful. The water will pick up the paint. I like what the gray's doing here, so I'm just going to keep doing that, tapping that in. I don't have any paint on my brush. I keep wiping it off on a paper towel. I'm picking up the paint from the canvas as I go and moving it around to blend it. There we are. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And this one is, are you dry? I think you might be dry. And just brushing over it. Moving the paint around. And as it moves, it's blending with another color. There we are. This is more blue. just tapping over it with the brush. There we are. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Right there, I'm going to fix that by putting in a little bit of, what color do I need there? Green? Maybe. And blue? I'm going to blend that with a paper towel. And then a brush. Getting that extra, whatever it is, off of there. And there's one thing that's kind of, I'm noticing, is that I've lost my white, which I need to bring some back. I've been having so much fun painting, I've lost some of the white. There we are. We'll blend this out a little bit. It's white coming through the back. And I'm drawing near to the end of this video. I'm thinking that I will come back and work on this a little bit more in the next video. But for now, I want to blend what I have on here. Otherwise, it won't look like it's muted. Yeah, thank you for joining me today. There we are. Just get you to move around. There we are. And I see the white now. I see the sky, but I'm going to need to put more white there. Thank you for joining me, and please, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel, and share it with people that are interested in acrylic painting, backgrounds, especially ones that are maybe having difficulty getting motivated to paint. It might inspire them to do so. Putting in more blue. I'll blend the edges of that with a brush. There we go. There we are. And if you're painting with me, your background is not going to be identical to mine. I would be really surprised if it was. But yours can definitely be yours the way it is right now, and much different than mine. That's fine. And if you're not painting with me and you're just enjoying the relaxing time to breathe, that's great. I'm going to add a little bit of white still to that. Once I get going, I can keep going. And that's just how it is. Let's bring it up lighter there. And maybe over here. And maybe right there. I'm going to blend that. There we are. Dry that off. And yes, I will have a few brushes to clean when I'm done, but I'm okay with that. I think that's good. I'm gonna put a little bit of color down here in the corner, and then I'm gonna color done for today. I'm so glad you joined me today. please subscribe to my channel, DK Bowl Chat, and please share with your friends or people that like to paint, you know? I'll blend that edge. There we go. Or people that don't know if they like to paint. Maybe they just have thought about it, but they don't know. Mine would be the perfect one to share with them. Yeah, I'm so glad you watched this video and you hung out with me today. And I will work on this painting again next time. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the video, maybe leaving a positive comment. Yeah. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you.